Ladies and gentlemen, the world's #1 sports and recreation podcast, Chi and Pete, is back. Oh yeah, happy New Year, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sitting in my my new office. I'm in an office, except it's not so much an office. It's the living room of my New York City apartment because my baby, who is could be here anytime, she has already. Everyone has told me, SGG, that my life is over as I know it, and I will now be at the mercy of whatever this little girl wants, and she has already kicked me out of the office I've been using for 5 years. And I'm in the living room now.
So I mean, what can you do? You've been warned.
I've been warned. So I'm now in the living room. I got to tell you though, I've made like some little changes, and like maybe it's just because I'm excited about this next chapter of my life. I actually am like psyched to be out here. It like feels fresh being out in this room. Like I have a little area. Can you tell where I am?
You buy the jukebox is right there. The TV is on the
on my right.
Yeah.
It's just like it feels like I have my own little area here. I'm good. Like I actually dig it.
But how long are you gonna be good right there though? Because that, like you said, that is in the openness of the apartment, right? Like the dining room's right there, the kitchen's around the corner. This baby girl's gonna be walking and talking soon. How soon before? She's just a co-host.
Well, it's a great point because even if you just go forward to when she's here, like a month or two, if Natalie's doing stuff with her right over there, you could be hearing some little bubbling baby in the background. Like that is on the table.
But it's right there.
But like in the early days, she can get fed and stuff in her room, my former office. So we should be okay for a little while. But you know what? We have plenty of time to talk about my growing family. Tonight, we talk about the growing WWE family because as we're recording / doing this live on YouTube, we are watching Drew McIntyre versus Jey Uso. It is 10:16 Eastern Standard Time.
That's right.
It is 7:16 in Los Angeles. Presumably, we have about an hour of showtime left, though I guess that remains to be seen. And this is the third wrestling match?
Yes. But listen, WWE, like I said today, and some people have also said it, it's the greatest show on earth. And sometimes part of the show is, promo. I was hoping for a musical guest. What's up from New Zealand? They could be live with Netflix, but they're live with us right now. I was hoping for a musical guest. I thought Travis Scott was going to perform, but I'll take what we got so far.
No. Listen,
it has been a great show.
Travis just sort of stood there and oddly walked to the rainbow. That's neither here nor there. They love them some Travis Scott. But the wrestling that we've gotten, the Roman solo match gave you all the WrestleMania Michigas, all the nonsense, all the schmazole, everything you're looking for, followed by a really fun women's championship match. We crowned a new women's champion in Rhea Ripley. And now we're getting this match so far with, which is, relatively just underway, Drew McIntyre and Jey Uso. We still have the main event, Seth Rollins versus CM Punk later. I had Seth Rollins today on the first episode ever of Don Hahn and Rosenberg.
Whoa, Mage.
We had young Seth call in there. And
now, did he talk strictly WWE or did he get into some football talk? Because I know he says he hates football, but he says it every week, which I'm starting to realize means man really loves football. Yeah.
He loves football. We did. We talked about his Chicago Bears and like the general state of the NFL because he's a big football guy. But we also spent some time on the Punk thing. And, what was interesting is, I think on TV, they've hyped up a little bit of like a history between them. It's really not history. It's just Seth does not respect the man. That's the bottom line. I really think I think they both see themselves as guys who live by a moral code. And I think Seth doesn't believe or respect Punk's moral code.
That feels very accurate.
Doesn't that feel like that? That's the tone I'm getting from him, is like, he did these things. He left our company. Now he comes crawling back. He thinks he's hot-ish. I'm good.
Because
that's what I get.
Let's face it, right? When Punk was in WWE living his dream, Seth was a fan, like a cheerleader, not to be speaking disparagingly of Seth, not to say it like that, but like Seth was really his man's. And then when Seth got his turn to sort of step in that role and leave WWE, Punk was so sour on WWE, so out, that it really feels like Seth took it personally. And so now they're back in the same company, preparing to do battle later on tonight. But it's still personal for Seth.
Yeah, I think it is. I think it is in that way. And I'm very interested. You know, this is the kind of stuff that I love, that we all love.
Yeah.
Two guys who have real history, but still got to go in there and do what they do professionally. That's why we love this business. Jaded Fox in the house.
Personal issues, sell tickets. They put asses in seats. They put eyeballs on the TV screen. Like, that's why everybody's tuning in to Netflix.
I know, bro. So weird. He basically punted the entire persona and storyline. Who is he referring to there? Is he referring to?
I don't know. It seems to be he's commenting to another comment.
Oh. Sorry. Yes, he is. Thank you. You're smart. I'm a boomer. Nathan says, I think Rock may have retired tonight. Felt like it. Is that what it felt like to you?
It didn't feel like a retirement. It felt like we got Dwayne. We didn't get The Rock. The Rock's entrance played, the music for The Rock hit, and then we got company man, member of the board, Dwayne Johnson, to say, here are all the new and exciting things that WWE is doing. I don't know if anybody's been to like one of those corporate events that they hold where they bring out the executives and they're on a stage and there's lights and there's music. I think, P, you know what I'm talking about. This felt like that, but broadcast to the entire world. You know, those events where they talk to those business partners and they say, this is what you can expect from corporate company, and they do the whole thing. I feel like Dwayne gave us that, but wrestling fans shouldn't have necessarily been privy to that. So it felt weird because we wanted to see him jump back into the role of the guy who came out, did the 1, 2, 3 throat slash to Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns. And what we got was somebody like, you know, Cody, you're doing a good job. Roman, we love you. This is going to be a great match. There was a disconnect.
Now we're getting a fluffy interview with Kathy Kelly.
Whoa. It's a New Day interview.
Oh, you're ahead of me then.
Was it a fluffy interview?
I'm watching Fluffy.
Then I'm ahead of you. And I won't spoil it for the people who are behind.
Oh, yeah, you're right. There's New Day. Okay. On my other screen, I see New Day is now in shot. By the way, guys, I am in love with the New Day thing.
Yeah, they didn't break up. I want them to break up. But sometimes, you know, it's good to not get what you want, because this heel persona.
This is even better. This is even better. You don't even. Sometimes, guys, you just need to change. Like, and by the way, of course, they can still always break up, and then you get another angle, because if they turn heel together, and then one turns face. I love like Woods like dresses better now as part of him being a heel.
Exactly.
And I love how that's part of Woods' character. It's like, yo, bro, you're a bad guy now. Stop dressing like crap, like a nerdy gamer. You got to dress like a douchebag.
Step it up. Hey, look, I'm gonna dust off the old contortionist and say we are right. They did break up, just not with each other. They broke up with us, the New Day fans. Right. And that's all right, because what they're gonna give us now is a fresh coat of paint and what we owe.
Why did I lose my audio from you, SGG? Was that me or you? I think it was you too. You tell me, Emilio. Tell me if it's a me problem or an SGG problem. No,
I'm back.
You go. You're back. I've had that happen. Let's see. By the way, so I mentioned Fluffy was in that thing with the New Day. Vanessa Hudgens always there. Our friend O'Shea Jackson is in the house with his repulsive Lakers belt.
In the new home of the LA Clippers.
I guess that's why he did it. I mean, listen,
get as much heat as Simmons though with the Boston Celtics wallpaper on the phone.
Well, I mean, it was the only way Simmons was going to get anything from the crowd. So at least he got something. You know what I mean?
Can we talk about the pop of the night? Hollywood's favorite son is still Macaulay Culkin. Did you hear the crowd?
100% pop of the night.
And it was wild. I wasn't expecting that. He revealed who he was, and then the crowd went crazy.
So I have to say this as we sit a couple hours into this Netflix debut. It's been really fun. The production's been interesting. Let's go back and forth, positives and negative. I'll start with a positive. I love John Cena tonight. I thought John, I would say right now we're 2.5 hours into the Netflix era. Go ahead and let me call John Cena the MVP for the first 2.5 hours. I thought he hit on everything we wanted. Like that was literally, he set up what we've been waiting to get from him moving forward. Like a pathway, tease the Royal Rumble, tease the 17th championship. They really, the only thing we haven't gotten is like any interruptions. I was sort of maybe waiting for like when he mentioned the 17 championships, I thought maybe we'd hear Flair's music hit.
Or Gunther or someone. And
or
that
something.
To me was my negative, right? John Cena came out, gave a great promo, the one that only Cena can give, took the crowd on a roller coaster ride, and then it just eased into the end. And I was waiting for that one more drop or that one more burst of adrenaline, whether it be, somebody, some young person's music hit, right? Braun, Mello, somebody, or Gunther, or Cody, or someone. But we just got the standard, he said what he had to say, and he's out. And I guess we'll see more of him at the Rumble.
You could argue, I feel like you could argue that's been like the general low point tonight, is just not enough general interruptions, and with the exception of the solo match where it all happened, like there hasn't been a lot of interrupting besides that. You know what I mean? And I would love to see that.
Yeah, it's been, I don't want to say standard, because it definitely feels, like you said, like a PLE or like a WrestleMania. But wrestling fans have certain expectations, and the surprise factor hasn't necessarily been all the way there for wrestling fans. Like we got The Undertaker coming out. I don't know if people expected that, but I think people want to hear the glass break and not the gong tonight. You know what I mean?
There were some rumors about Austin, and then in the end, it doesn't appear we're getting that. Although the show's not over.
No, we still got time.
Okay, so small negative as we see a nice Vegas promo for WrestleMania. Small negative for me. I don't know how you feel. I don't know how you guys watching in the room feel. You can tell me. I'll throw your comments up on the screen. And by the way, if you're watching live on YouTube and you're not a subscriber to Rosenberg Wrestling on YouTube or the Cheap Heat podcast, hit the subscribe on YouTube. And by the way, guys, if you're in the room, the little 60 people we have in the room right now, please hit all the thumbs up, leave all the comments, do all the things to get us in the algorithm so we get some nice audience tonight and build this channel. I hate the microphone.
You don't like the round flag?
I hate it. I don't. Maybe I'm just not a man of change.
You're old school. You're old school. I love the round flag.
Really? I find it so off-putting. I don't know why. I do not like it.
I think it's brilliant. But what do I know?
Who is that celebrity on the screen?
Is that Tiffany Haddish?
Well, I'm seeing the white guy first, and that is not. Yes, it is. That is Tiffany Haddish. It's nice that Tiffany Haddish would show up to Raw, because she would also show up to the opening of a Grand Union.
Back up, Pete.
Sorry, back up. I was trying to see. My bad, Emilio. Don't yell at. They're not showing
Stephen Amell.
No, Stephen Amell. Braun Breaker. I don't know if I love when we show the wrestlers like, oh, the new champ.
Yeah, it's Tiffy time.
All due respect to Tiffany Haddish, but make way for the real Tiffany.
I wasn't expecting the next person they show on the screen.
Oh,
that's a shocker.
Nikki Bella?
That's a shock. That's a shocker.
Oh my God! I wonder if Bill Simmons is boring her to tears.
He might be.
Hey, Nikki, do you want to talk about Bill Walton's contributions to the 1986 Celtics? You know, I once saw Gorilla Monsoon wrestle at the old Boston Garden. Oh, and here we go.
As expected.
It's happening.
His beer made the ring mat. The Real American beer and two of the corners.
Hogan, man, Hogan is out. He's wearing his Real American beer shirt. He is walking so bad, man. Let's see if I can get some audio. If it'll work.
Maybe he should have been on the bike.
Let's see if I can get us some audio. I don't know if there's a way I can give you audio.
It's probably for the best.
You know what?
It's probably for the best.
I can report on what he's saying. Oh, wow. If you guys can't hear it, you can't hear it, huh?
Nah.
Oh, I mean, it is the most boos I've heard. By far the most. Oh, Greg is smiling. Greg is smiling.
The real Americans are letting him know how they feel about it.
This is interesting, and he's not talking. Oh my God. Let me tell you something, brother. I got to add this to the screen. Hold on. We'll see how long we can last.
The greatest part of my life was being part of this great WWE.
Can you hear that or no?
Guys.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone. Never seen this.
All kind of tag team partners over the years. But
I feel like they should have expected this, though.
And my greatest tag team partner, because you guys is stuck with me through thick and thin, dude.
So many boos.
Yo, I've got a new tag team partner right now. I got Hulk Hogan.
You better not say Real American beer.
That I've teamed up. And in the past,
oh, it's over. This is.
A whole bunch of partners down
Let's
the
ask Dip
line.
how bad this is.
I had incredible partners. Like
Right, Dip is there. He's on the ground.
Macho Man Randy Savage.
I don't know if we can trust him to be a correspondent.
Giant
Because
size partners like Andre the Giant.
Is gonna big time us on that.
Dip's direct quote. This is bleeping insane.
Is the fact tonight we're making history, and the WWE is tag teamed up with Netflix, the greatest tag team partner of all time. So what?
Oh my God!
This is
and Netflix runs wild on you, maniacs.
This is gonna get us clipped, but it was worth it. Just to hear the reaction.
Hogan's Real American Beer is now an official partner of WWE.
Guys, let me tell you something right now.
That was very not good.
That's it. We will never see this again.
Yo, the way he walked to the back with the shirt hanging down while he walked to the back, the ripped shirt. It looked like when you're in the bathroom and there's no toilet paper and nobody's in the house, so you got to go get the new roll yourself.
I cannot believe how. I mean, like, I can believe. So listen, we don't talk a lot of politics on this show. It gets hinted at here and there. But I will tell you guys something. The Vishal says the night has finally lived up to the hype. Your boy Allen, we love you, but we love your boy Allen. Poor Jimmy Hart.
No, seriously, he had to wave that flag.
You know,
they should just announce Chad Gable's opponent. By the way, we know who it is. I think everybody knows.
By the way, it's just too many things with Hogan. Like, listen, it's not just about endorsing Trump. Like, Undertaker didn't get booed tonight.
Yeah, Trump won the election. I mean, you know,
Trump won the election. Not everybody obviously hates Donald Trump. Half the country, or more than half the country, seems to like him quite a bit.
He's going to be the president in what, 2 weeks?
So. Yeah. So what is it about? Oh, there's Stephanie McMahon. So what is it about what Hogan has done that has put him at that level, SGG? And it's the collection of all of it. And I really think
it is the collection of all of it. That's exactly what.
And I really think that, like, there could even be, you know, people who are pro-Trump people who they voted for Trump, who just thought the fact that he blended his wrestling in with his endorsement at the convention was so distasteful for like this place where we get to all go live and not think about it. As the man of the hour, Seth Rollins, the visionary, enters the ring for the main event.
Freaking.
That's right, freaking. The screen they have in Intuit, by the way, is fire. The round screen around the building is unbelievable.
This was the perfect venue for this show, because like the lights in between the seats, so when they darken the arena, they still get that effect of just thousands of lights around the arena.
It looks fire. I just think there are people who could be Trump supporters who still found it distasteful. Like, why are you bringing these things together? And then you add up, of course, the horrifying things that he said on tape many years ago. You know, even if you just get into how that story came to be and sort of how distasteful it was, you just keep adding it all up, man. And the guy at this point, it's just not working. And let me just add to this, beyond the reception and the booing that we just heard. If you listen to this podcast, Cheap Heat, which we've been doing for a decade now, and you should subscribe if you're viewing us on YouTube. We've been saying for years, beyond his personal life flaws, Hogan is problematic to bring out because he has no human traits.
Right.
All you can do is
does not work.
So because all he can do, like Ric Flair can walk out. And by the way, guys, we know Ric Flair is not a perfect man. All of us know that. But he gives us who he is, flaws and all.
Right.
Like, that's just who he is. I'm sure I would hate Ric Flair's politics. But guess what? He doesn't rub it in my face. He comes out here, he just does Ric Flair stuff, and he lets us know I'm not perfect, but I'm this guy. And I've been entertaining you my whole life, and I'm going to keep doing that. Right. And he can get out there and act like the guy, Ric Flair. There is no guy behind Hulk Hogan.
Right.
Who's he going to be? All he has is, let me tell you something, brother. And now that he is literally a senior citizen, it looks ridiculous. He's a cartoon. It's, you know, I saw a headline the other day moving around the web that said Ric Flair says he actually has one match left.
I saw that too.
And I went,
you know what?
I went, I mean, it's ridiculous, but sure. I mean, the version of him that he is, he can do whatever he wants. He can do whatever he wants.
Didn't we go to his, like, the festivities around his last match? What was that, 3 years ago?
Yeah, we went to the roast and laughed our asses.
The roast was incredible.
Yeah, we had a great time at the roast. But he's able to be a human being. Hogan doesn't have the human being part. So all they keep doing is writing these, let me tell you something, brothers. And then he promotes something. God, do you think Netflix was going to be happy with that promo? He tore the shirt off. Guys, the last time he tore the shirt off was at the Republican convention. It just doesn't play for a big part of the audience, especially in Los Angeles.
And the shirt tear doesn't come off as well, even if he didn't do that before.
Facts. Nathan says they should have stopped with Hogan after Mania 30 when he was still in shape-ish. The one with Rock and Stone Cold. You know what?
Yeah.
Probably the last great moment. That was probably the last great one that we'll ever see.
Because even, like you said, even if you take away all the mishigas and the politics and everything like that, it just doesn't look good. And the promos do not hit. Hogan's best left in like a video package. He was just the right guy. Yeah.
See, Harry, that's a guy who knows the show.
That's right.
Harry comments he was really just the right guy in the right place at the right time, which is a classic Hogan flub.
Harry might be a day one.
Mr. Acosta says he showed that Terry Bollea and Hulk Hogan are basically the same person. That's a very flawed person.
Yeah, listen, it was a great legal strategy. It got him off the hook, but it has its consequences.
That's right. It got him. It won him his suit, right?
Yeah, it did.
I mean, Macaulay Culkin was way more over than Hulk.
Yeah, of course.
Hogan was big, mad, and stormed off. Is that true?
I mean, my eyes were closed. I was laughing, so it's possible. The good thing about this Raw live on Netflix is that, according to Triple H, the replay will be available instantly. And I think you could even replay now. I'm not going to go back. But if you want to check that out, if you're listening later as we're watching live, you can check that out.
Wow, man. That went
exactly how we expected it to go. Don't say it went left. Don't say.
No, I guess you're right. It
It
didn't
went
go well. It just didn't go well. It didn't go well.
Okay, good. Yeah, because it went exactly as we all expected.
Oh, and by the way, they did that. Was that right before Seth? It was right before the introductions?
It was. And this is the crazy thing about Hogan too, right? Like, I feel like in video packages and in games, and like his merch probably still sells well and his action figures move. Like the nostalgia piece of it, it still is flawless work. Like it hits every time. It makes them money. It's just for whatever reason, you can't actually make him the man a part of that because you see what happens. There's just a disconnect.
A bit. You know what, SGG? I think there was a bit of a disconnect.
Yeah, we're gonna. That's the same.
Yo, by the way, though, I'll tell you what is dope. Though is these drone shots.
Yeah, I didn't realize that Intuit Dome was underground because the drone came in and then it went in the building and dropped down to the ringside.
I have a little bit of FOMO that they're doing a post show that I'm not a part of tonight.
No, they save you for the big money post shows. You know, they save you for.
Yeah, I don't do these just like, you know.
This is a Monday night. This is what you do Monday nights. You chill with your people, the Peckerheads, live on YouTube, and we watch Graps as a family. This is how you spend your Monday nights. Now, Saturday, if this was a Saturday, I'll be on board with that.
Right. Now they just showed my favorite thing, highest grossing arena show in history. Do you think they showed that in the building or just to us at home?
Well, I think they announced it.
In the building?
In the building, yeah. So I think The Rock announced it in his promo. So they know. They're aware. Everybody in there is aware.
I don't know why we keep telling the paying public at the shows, congrats, this is the most expensive show in history.
I don't think American fans realize what they're being told in those moments.
Well, the French fans did.
yeah. No, the European fans know.
Yeah, they were like, wait, this means that we pay the most money.
Yeah, we will catch on eventually. I think. I hope. We'll see. But Americans love cash talk, though, so I don't think we're gonna care. The more you tell them that they were a part of you making more money, people are gonna feel that. Like,
you know what? The city of New York should take this on with the congestion pricing, and each day they should announce this was our most lucrative day, New York. Thank you.
Yeah. Do it with the same gusto that they did with that. What they did, like a mini parade when they put up the toll signs everywhere. Give themselves a big pat on the back.
Yeah, I think that would be really great. Congratulations, you did it again. Why is Punk walking backwards?
Yo, he's just feeling it. I guess he wanted people to see the jacket, the old school Ring of Honor jacket.
Oh, got it. That he's busting out the old school Ring of Honor with the. You know, I watched a fun Rumble. Do you remember the Rumble when Punk dominated
people and then
grab the mic?
This was a sermon. He was doing a sermon.
By the way, I'm going to say something right now, and I'm going to say it delicately because it's 2025, and you got to say these things delicately. I don't know if you know where I'm going.
No, I don't. I'm laughing at Emilio's comment. I don't know if you saw it.
Is it in our private? Is it private?
It is. He said it's the jacket that he choked out Jack Perry in. He didn't punch him. He just choked him a little bit.
When you go back and you watch the Straight Edge Society, just hear me out. Hear me out. From just a straight up attractive, sexy pro wrestler standpoint, is Serena Deeb in that era one of the most slept on of all time?
Yeah.
Like, how is she? Yo, Bald
Yes.
Serena Deeb was such a banger. Like, I can't believe.
But that's why, though. That's why, because people wasn't ready for a bald lady superstar.
Was she pre-Amber Rose famous?
Yeah.
That's a couple years pre-Amber, no? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, listen, you guys have disrespected Serena Deeb for far too long.
Because Amber was like 2011, 2012, around there.
That's what I feel like. Yes.
Punk was already in his like 400 or whatever day run. So
you're right. This is like
Edge
10.
was before that.
This is like 2010.
Maybe even earlier.
Yeah, maybe 09 is Straight Edge Society.
Yeah.
But yes, guys, please go back in history and gals and pay respects and show
Just give
love.
her flowers. Give her flowers. Man.
She didn't do a whole lot during the run. Like, she wrestled a little bit. She would get involved a little bit. She was more just really an important part of the like squad. Oof. By the way, those clotheslines, those lariats, whatever you want to call them, from Seth had a little bit on them to
Listen,
the chest of Punk.
That's what we like to see. Air out your dirty laundry and your personal injuries, and then swing on each other with bad intentions safely, so that you can do it again next week.
By the way, Punk's got to be
close to that line.
Punk's got to be careful. And by the way, back to the negative side of things on what's been a really entertaining show. Too many. It's so LA, bro. Have you noticed how often some of the up close seats have been emptied by people like going for walks?
No, I haven't. I have not.
And in some of the seats that I can tell are like the comp seats where like important people are supposed to be, they're just pulling LA shit. You know what? LA stuff.
Yeah.
And taking walks.
Yeah, I'm sure the backstage at this event is like nothing I've ever seen. Maybe you've seen it, but nothing I've ever seen. So I can't fault these people for, trying to dip backstage, take a flick. They're probably popping champagne back there. I know they eating lobster and shrimp.
Yeah, did y'all talk about Travis smoking a J and McAfee saying it was all sage? LMAO.
Listen, you have to keep it PG. You have to keep it PG.
He really did. Oh, and then Maurice said, we're really going to act like that, like the Great Serena Deeb isn't the second best bald woman that's been in the E, LOL.
Molly Holly, I believe, is the first season.
Oh, of course. Never forget. Never sleep on Molly Holly. Yeah, the joint from Travis was a lot. I get it. We're on Netflix, but it was a lot.
I guess it's LA, so is that allowed, right? I guess.
I mean, you're still not allowed to smoke in a public indoor venue like that.
But can't you smoke in a indoor venue during a performance, right? Isn't there like a Broadway exception? Like if you're part of a performance, you can smoke?
You know what? It's a great point, SGG. Maybe he
walked out with Jey. He was part of the performance.
That's a great point. Pat and Cole were talking about yeeting all over the place, which was interesting.
I love Cole. His yeet was at like half speed, though.
No, Cole's a little tired for the yeet on the desk right now.
He said, "Can we please go back to our seats? I need to call this show. I need to catch my breath to call this match."
But yeah. Now, do we expect? We've already said. We've had big moments tonight. We had a title change with Rhea Ripley. We've had Roman Reigns get back to ULA FALA. And SGG is psyched about it. He's now the proper tribal chief again. And him and The Rock had a nice little moment.
I was expecting some shenanigans, gotta say.
So is that a little bit, would you throw that as a disappointment to you that the story didn't evolve? It just, they kind of stalled the story in terms of Rock and Roman there.
That is a bit of a disappointment, right? Because when The Rock showed up, I was expecting, okay, we're gonna move this now a little bit. We're gonna get something going. And then he really did just cut the, rah-rah promo. Still a great promo, but I was looking for that cherry on top. That never came.
Skylar Aston has weighed in and said the WWE bald women Mount Rushmore.
Okay.
Molly Holly.
Yep.
Sinead O'Connor.
WWE?
Did she ever do a WrestleMania? Or is he just being
I don't think she did.
silly?
We'll throw her in there though.
BSD. I'm counting on you, SGG. You're stacking.
BSD, that's Ball Serena Deeb. Ball Serena Deeb.
Oh, is that what he meant? Ball Serena Deeb. Okay.
Ball Serena Deeb, yeah.
And well, good job. See, you figured it out. And Amber Rose.
Now, did she ever perform in WWE? Did she ever show up?
No, I would know this.
No.
I would absolutely know if Amber had shown up.
It honestly sounds like there's two more spots.
She might be there with Hogan tonight. We don't know.
She might be.
But
there's 2 more spots, what it sounds like.
well, what size Mount Rushmore? Oh, you mean if Sinead? So he says that Sinead and Amber are not WWE, but they still essentially belong.
Okay, yeah, I'll go because there's a celebrity wing on the bald.
It's a great point.
Now I'm at commercial, so I want to while we're doing that, while we're waiting for this ad to get off the screen, we made some predictions for 2025, and your prediction was that Jey Uso will be a world champion. Mm-hmm. How do you see that playing out? Does he beat Cody? Does he beat Gunther? Does he beat somebody else? Like, what's his path to the top of the mountain, P?
I mean, I guess if I were betting right now, I'd probably think it ends up. I mean, it depends if Cena ends up going Gunther, right? If Cena gets it from Gunther, I don't know. Is there a world in which Jey could take it off of Cena? I think it ends up being the world, not the Universal. Yes.
Okay. And then what? So is it like King of the Ring? He wins King of the Ring and takes it at a SummerSlam.
Well,
are you counting him out for the Rumble?
I mean, I'll tell you what. Today really made me believe John Cena wins that Royal Rumble.
No, I don't think so.
You think it was too overtly? It was too overt?
Today made me believe he does not win the Royal Rumble. Yeah, I think he gets there. I think he might even be final 2. And then whoever that bad guy is that eliminates him on their way to Cody or Gunther, we are going to hate them at least until the road to WrestleMania hits Las Vegas. Now, maybe we'll grow to love that person after that, but that person is going to eliminate John Cena to win the Royal Rumble, and then it opens up just a world of possibilities for John Cena and everybody else.
Now, do you believe, though, that beyond a shadow of a doubt, he does get the 17th championship?
No, I'm on the fence. Like, part of me is like, it makes sense that he gets to 17 because then they have that ambassador, that person that they can trot out for the next 40 years or however long John Cena's around. And he's very safe and he's loved by everybody. And he can be, their golden boy from the sidelines, like in retirement. So part of me thinks that they want that. But just knowing that he has other things to accomplish, that Grand Slam, because he's never been, I believe he's never been Intercontinental Champion. That's something that's on the radar too for John Cena to do. And I don't think that 1 year gives him enough time to do both, to check off the Grand Slam or the 17. So, does he have too much respect for Rick?
It's the 17. He's getting the 17. And it just, we covered it a few weeks ago, and it was so true. I mean, there's just too much upside to him being the guy. And by the way, I also love that he brought up his lack of winning. Like, finally time to tell that story.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, he's around long enough. Let him lose a couple more times.
Yeah.
Let's build it a little bit.
Hell, let him lose at the Royal Rumble. He doesn't need to win his first match back.
Well, but that doesn't count.
That's true. It's not a singles match.
It's singles match, right?
Yeah. Who doesn't lose the Royal Rumble, right? Everybody loses the Royal Rumble.
Well, Mr. Acosta has a strong statement. Let's get Ric Flair's old ass out of the record book.
That's harsh.
It's harsh. I mean, we were sort of saying that in a nice way. Like, I don't feel that way. I just think, like, if you want someone who's never going to be problematic,
right,
and who's going to be around for a very long time to come support your product and continue to be successful and exist in other worlds, why not John Cena?
Yeah.
It's much more that. You are not going to hear me complain. But the thing is, here's my issue. If they were going to protect Rick and the record, John should have never gotten to 16.
Correct.
They should have. Triple H is sitting at 15.
Yeah. Randy Orton's a little bit back too. He's not at 16.
No, like there's if you're going to have John get to 16, go to 17.
Yeah. Because everybody, as soon as he got to 16, that's all anybody's been talking about. Is his path to 17 and breaking the record.
Now, do you expect anything else of note to happen on this show? Or are we just going to get a regular finish? Show's over. Good night. Good luck.
I mean, I feel like they would have to do something else. I don't know what that is though. Does Seth snap? Does Punk win and Seth snaps? I really don't know.
Who is that cheering so hard in the front row for?
I don't know. Is that his sister? Maybe. I don't know.
She's very happy.
Yeah, she looks super excited to see Punk get that neck breaker off on Seth Rollins. So
I would love for them to do something here to advance this further. I know we talked about maybe this is the end for this story.
It cannot be the end. This has to be the start. Like, there's no reason for them to be one and done on the Netflix premiere. This has to be the thing. Because remember, they're live next week again. We know this. People tuning in, maybe they do, maybe they don't. If they stayed along for this whole ride, what are you going to give them to make them come back to Netflix next week? It has to be whatever happens at the end of this match. They can't be done with each other. They hate each other. Can't end like this, or the simple 1, 2, 3, or a tap out.
Yeah, I've got my friend and new co-host Alan Hahn watching this match right now on his way home.
Mage.
Look at that post-show lineup I'm not going to be part of. I mean, come on. I've done a million post-shows, pre-shows. They have every superstar ever on this.
Where's Dip? Is Dip there?
Yeah, he needs to go have a conversation.
I feel like Dip dropped the ball on this one. The hell is wrong with you, Dip?
Although the truth is, I thought about asking if there was work to be done at this show, like at least doing social, like celebrity stuff, whatever. I'm scared to listen.
Who are you scared of?
No, I'm scared of being that far away. I can't do it. Like, Nat is too close to giving birth.
Oh yeah.
So like, okay, Natalie and I have talked about SGG. If she has not given birth by Saturday night's main event, which is the same day as our due date, she has talked about being like, you should just go and come back.
And that's the one in Houston, I believe, right? San Antonio.
San Antonio. Still far. Not as far as LA, but far.
Mm-hmm.
I said to her, so we have a doctor's appointment tomorrow. I want to ask our OB
if it's safe to just get this thing on the road.
Is there a world in which you could know like a couple days before she's not coming? I've never done this before.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Everyone's just saying, don't do it. Don't do it.
The whole chat is saying, don't do it.
Yeah. A lot of people saying, don't do it.
I'm with the chat.
See, but then there's this one. Dan Ryder. The first one is almost always late.
But you never know. You never know. I'll say this. If this was your second one, P, go ahead. Do it. You seen the first one. You get it. Some craziness going on. Some shenanigans. Well, number 2, get the bread. Get the bread. Just do it. But the first one.
Oh, no. Listen, I'm not. Let me be clear. I want to be clear and unequivocal. I'm not missing the birth of my daughter. I will not. There's not even a possibility.
If there were twins, stay for the first one and then try to make it down.
It's a great point. What you're saying here makes great. It's not twins, and that doesn't make any sense. But I love what you're saying.
Yeah. Just try to help out.
I'm not going to miss it, no matter what. Now, if we get to the Royal Rumble the next week. Now, what if we get to the Royal Rumble and this baby still hasn't come, and the doctor's like, hey, she's not coming. We're going to schedule for, Tuesday.
Mm-hmm. Don't trust it. The
Rumble's just Indiana. It's quick. I can get home lickety-split.
Don't trust it, because they're going to schedule it, and then y'all going to feel safe and secure knowing that an appointment scheduled.
Okay. How about another
water breaks, and then you got
another option. What about we induce on like January 18th, 20th?
Yeah.
A few days early.
Yeah.
Dan, what's wrong with that? Dan.
He said no?
No, I'm asking Dan. I'm asking Dan right now.
Do we know Dan's credentials?
No.
But at least Dan had a plan. So let's talk to Dan. He said schedule it.
I wonder if you can.
Dan.
Now,
I love Dan's pick, by the way. Keep Dan's comment coming. Shout out to Carlos.
Our guy Carlos Herrera says, "Do it." I wonder whether we could just plan to induce. Now, maybe tomorrow they'll look and say, "Oh, you know what? It's close." Or, "Hey, who knows?"
If you could induce like 20th, I say do that.
Listen. This is. I'll tell you guys the truth. We're all family, right? This is Patreon,
That's
right?
This is Patreon. I don't think it is, but
It's not. We're live on the internet, pal. But here's the thing. I wanted to be a part of Saturday night's main event so bad. They selected me to be a part of it, and now's the second one. I'm back again.
They love your moveset. They love your moveset.
They love my moveset. They want more moveset.
Yeah,
right?
More moveset.
It's hard to, listen, and my wife, just so you guys know, to be clear, my wife and I are on the exact same page. There's no me being one way and her being another. We're both trying to figure out how to make it all happen, but there's no world in which I'm missing it.
Shout out to Natalie for being about making boyhood dreams come true, by the way.
Wait, hold on. So Eric just weighed in. Pete, as a dad, just stay home and stay mage. Now this is troubling. Just as I said that me and Natalie are on the same page. What the hell?
Schedule it. Is she in the chat? What in the hell is that a heel turn? I didn't see that coming.
Now Natalie's in the chat saying, "Thanks, Eric. What are you even saying, Peter?" Babe, we were just talked about this earlier tonight. We're on the same page. I'm not gonna miss anything.
Yeah, Pete, you can have it all. Don't listen to her.
Now listen, Nathan weighs in.
Oh my God.
Nathan weighs in and says, "Peter turning heel on his unborn baby and his wife was not what I expected."
Listen, this is just on the internet. The baby doesn't need to know anything about this. The baby will never know about this conversation.
Dan says, "No, seriously, Peter, if you can schedule it, do it."
Dan sounds like the smartest person in the chat, though. I'm not gonna lie. I still don't know Dan's credentials, but I feel like we got to go with Dan.
Now, Natalie, come on, you can't be opposed to a schedule. We schedule it. Here's the thing, we schedule it.
Ha 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 ha, and then the three laughing. She's just here for the chaos.
I know. I say this respectfully. She's the woman of my life. She is my everything. But she's a messy bitch. I mean, she's just in here being messy. Now, Kevin says, "Put this convo on the egg everything shirt." I don't know if that makes sense.
Maybe can we do it?
No way you can schedule it, Felix says. Well, that's not true. Obviously, obviously, if you're having a planned C-section, you 100% can.
You can do whatever you want. Modern medicine.
Yeah, let me tell you guys something. This entire pregnancy is a miracle of modern medicine. Come on, no.
Yeah. The closing sequence was incredible.
By the way, Punk just talked to Rollins. Punk just whispered something to Rollins after pinning him. Did
he say, "Oh, we can't curse," but he said, "F you, you little S. I'll win."
I want to SGG. Let's talk through the last sequence here. I'm rewinding a bit. Yeah. It was a go to sleep.
Before that, the superplex. So you want to get to right before Rollins does the superplex, because we all know Rollins does that move where he does a superplex, holds on.
Oh yes,
and then goes for the Falcon Driver, I believe.
So Seth climbs the rope, grabs Punk on the top rope into the superplex, hits the superplex and rolls through to pick him up. But instead of the driver, Punk just hits him with a go to sleep. Rollins stays up, falls back onto Punk's shoulders. That's a great finish because Punk's on his knees at that point. Rollins falls back onto his shoulders, and Punk is going to hit him again with a second go to sleep. And that is where we get CM. Yeah. Listen, I got to tell you, I'm rooting for Seth Rollins because I think it's like sort of the right thing. And listen, winning in wrestling is whatever. I'm being a complete markadoodle-doo here. All right.
What else are you gonna be on the Cheap Heat podcast?
What else? We're doing a wrestling podcast
mean,
live on YouTube. I'm supposed to be a Markadoodle-Doo. Executive producers Paul Levesque and Lee Fitting. And Seth looks a little busted open here. Shouts to Dave LaGreca and the gang. SGG, like in terms of being a nerdy M-word, Markadoodle-Doo, I did like the idea of Seth sort of defending the honor of the company and winning.
Yeah.
And that is it. The episode ended at 11:04. They stuck right to the 3 hours and 5 minutes. So I did. Oh, wait. Oh, no.
It's over. Yeah.
Exit live stream. So I did like the idea of him winning sort of on principle, but character-wise, it probably Punk needs to get a marquee win.
He did.
Like he got one. He got Drew in the end.
On the cell. Yep.
But prior to that, where were the marquee wins for CM Punk? This was one to get.
Prior to that, they were non-existent because my man was on the shelf for half the year. So they gotta get through this.
And then lost a big match to Drew McIntyre, and then eventually gets the win back, and now beat Seth Rollins, who I'll say this. I mean, like I said, I would have liked Seth to win. Wins and losses are kind of whatever for Seth at this point. Like, he's the man. Like,
yeah, he's the main man.
I actually think Punk kind of needs it more than Seth at this moment.
I think the story needs it more than either one of them. So that's what I want to know. I want to know, is the story between them done? Because despite what I said earlier in this episode, that looked like a one and done. And I don't know if I'm feeling that. I'm going to reserve judgment. I'm going to go with the old let it play out. I'm going to hit the light bulb button because let it play out is undefeated. But if that is what it is, I'm going to take that ride begrudgingly because I want to see more from them. They hate each other too much for it to be one and done. It's just a regular match with the 1, 2, 3, no stipulation.
I was showing you a little bit of post-show on Netflix, but it looks like they cut away from the ring now, and they're just going to go to the post-show. I got to tell you, man, this post-show. Let's see. They have on the WWE on the WWE on Netflix channel. They have 132,000. Oh, no, it's on regular WWE. Okay. 133,000 live, and they really packed those three gentlemen in together tightly.
Yeah, we don't even get Wade on the if you're watching us on YouTube.
Yeah, that's how tight they are.
Right.
Joe Tess, Wade, and Big E are on a little podium doing a little post show out in the crowd and breaking it down. They're gonna have a lot of guests too. 140,000 are watching that show live. If we could just get a few, can we just steal a few?
Yeah, where's Joe? I thought Joe Tess messed with us, man. Can he send them? Can he send some people over here?
Yeah, can he just be like, hey,
we're gonna get started in a second. Come back when you get done over there, but stop over there first before you get to this.
Light work. All right.
He's a pro, so he can make it sound nice, but just get that message out.
All right. So overall, as we put a bow on this thing, how would you assess night one on Netflix?
It was a strong show if you're not a hardcore M-word like we are. For me, as a hardcore M-word, the matches hit, but I feel like they could have sprinkled in a couple more matches and dialed back a little bit on the pomp and the circumstances because, it's just every Monday's not going to be like that. But I know why they had to do it. It's the same thing they did with the SmackDown premiere on Fox. And, when Raw came back to USA and now it's going back on Netflix, they had to give it a shot in the arm. But I wanted something more. Something did feel missing. So I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5.
I think that's fair. You're giving it an 80%, 80, 85.
Yeah.
I thought it was a lot of fun. a lot of pomp and circumstance, good actual matches, put the title back on Rhea, clear indication to the new Netflix audience. Just know that this Rhea Ripley lady is super important. I don't think Liv really needs the title. She had a hell of a run with it, enough to make it like a thing for her for a long time. This is a good comment from Lady B, who says, one of my college buddies covered this story out in LA, and he posted, "Where is Sonny? Someone had to break it to him that his childhood crush took a turn after the Attitude Era." It's unfortunate.
The sun goes down. That's what happens.
That's right. The sun sets, if you will.
SGG, voice of the people. That's right, I am.
Yeah, I thought the actual matches were really fun. I thought the overall show was good. Listen, there was a slight risk in how much hype they put into the show. It was a ton of hype. The truth is, it really doesn't matter. It's like how I felt about the McMahon documentary with Dip when he had complaints about it. It's not, tonight wasn't for us.
Yeah.
Guess what? Next week,
We back.
And they'll still do some things to try to keep the people they gained, but it will be back to us some next week. And just remember that, like the whether or not it was a good show, the proof is just going to be in how many viewers they got. That's it.
And that's all that matters to them with that one. And I'll say this too. I had some FOMO going into the show, but when I saw the rows and rows of celebrities and who was there and the who's who, I had the best seat I was going to get because, I would have been on the roof.
Can I tell you the truth too? Like, it was an awesome show, and I had some FOMO too about missing it. And I'm kind of happy I got to enjoy it this way. Like, I would have done some social hits. It would have been cool to be there. But like, the reality is, you remember, this is a big hype to get people on board for Netflix. We got to roll right into Royal Rumble and all the other big real things that are going to happen.
Right. Exactly.
All right. So we appreciate you guys. If you are somehow watching us on YouTube, please go hit subscribe. If you are not subscribed to the Cheap Heat podcast, wherever you find podcasts, go subscribe to that. And of course, we're on Patreon too, patreon.com/StayMage. We'll have a Patreon episode this week as well. SGG, Emilio, thank you guys for making time. Natalie, thank you for letting me do this. And let's go have a baby soon.
Schedule it. Dr. Dan said we got to schedule that.
Yeah, and by the way, I'm gonna tell the doctor tomorrow, our OBGYN, Dr. Roboto. I'm like, by the way, I had a guy, Dan, in the group chat yesterday. He said we can just schedule this thing. What's popping?
Yeah. Dan said it can. Dan doesn't lie.
No, thank you.
Dan don't lie.
Men lie, women lie, numbers lie. Dan don't
lie. No.
Stay mage, guys.
Happy New Year.
And Happy New Year.
Are we still